Hi, Shane here. You're watching Sam for God. This is Mark. Check her out.
So hi guys, how are you doing? A couple of weeks ago I went to the Savoy Theatre in London to see a show called Gypsy, and this was actually transferred to London from Chichester. It was in Chichester last year and I'd heard such amazing things about it. I was so excited to finally go and see it. Unfortunately, when it was in Chichester last summer I was not able to go because I was working then and I couldn't get the time off. So when it came to the West End I was like, yes, finally I get to see the show that everyone's been raving about, with this cast that everyone's been raving about. So basically I was very excited. However, although I was incredibly excited because I'd heard, like I said, just the best things from anyone who'd seen it, I was also a bit worried because from history, from previous experiences, I've not been the biggest fan of Sondheim musicals. I've tried my best over the years of being a theatre fan. I've tried so hard to love Sondheim and his music and stuff, and don't get me wrong, there are some of his work and songs that I actually really do like and I enjoy a lot, but generally speaking, I'm just not a big Sondheim fan. His music just doesn't connect to me as much as other composers' music does. That was a difficult sentence to say. But anyway, because of that, I was a bit hesitant. I was just like, oh my god, what if I go and see this and I just don't end up liking it as much as I think I will because I just don't like the music and I don't like the Sondheim songs generally that much. Because here's the thing, I really wanted to like it because I'd heard such great things about it. And I mean, looking at the cast itself, Imelda Staunton, just because of her being in it, I wanted to like the show. And yet there was this thing of Sondheim being in it that was just a bit, Sam, you might not like it because I'm in this show and I've done the lyrics and stuff. But basically I loved the show. I ended up absolutely loving the show. And it surprised me so much, it really did. I genuinely didn't think I was going to like the music. I mean, the show itself, I thought I obviously might like because I'd heard great things about it. But what surprised me was that I just really love the music in Gypsy, and you might think it's weird that I've never seen Gypsy before. I hadn't. It was my first experience of seeing Gypsy ever. I didn't know anything about it really. Yeah, I really enjoyed the songs in the show. I love the score a lot. Not one of the best scores I've ever heard, not my favourite or anything, but I really enjoyed it and it had some really good songs in it. And I think possibly one of the reasons is that even though Stephen Sondheim has written the score for it, he's mainly done the lyrics, he's not written the actual music, so he's done the lyrics, and some other dude called Julie Stein, I really hope I pronounced that right, yeah, this person did the music for it, so maybe that's why. But in any case, I just really like the music. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the cast, because Imelda Staunton, I mean, yeah, I don't even know where to start with her. She literally delivered probably the best performance I've ever seen, ever, on stage. Like, she was amazing. She was phenomenal. Nothing was wrong. She was perfect. You know, like when you go and see people in shows and stuff and you're like, oh my god, that was amazing. And even when you say that, you know, back in the head, you know, back in your mind that there was something that maybe they could have done a little bit better and stuff. You know, performances are very rarely perfect. But I really think that Imelda Staunton's performance in Gypsy is perfect. And I dare anyone to go and see this show and not rate Imelda's performance, because it's just impossible. If you go and see this show, if you're a normal human being, and if you go and see the show, you're gonna be completely amazed by her performance. She is just amazing. And the rest of the cast is great as well. It's just a really great cast. Why did my voice just go so high-pitched? I don't know, I'm just very excited. So yeah, guys, the whole cast was really good, and I think particularly like working with someone like Imelda Staunton, who is a legend, a stage legend, who is so good on stage and everything, must be difficult for the rest of the cast. But there was never a scene where I was like, oh my god, this actor is so low, like the performance is so bad compared to like Imelda's. Obviously Imelda's performance was so good that like any scene that she was in, you couldn't help but, you know, just focus on her and just be completely amazed by her rather than anybody else who was in the scene. But at the same time, I feel like all the cast members in the show were good in their own right as well. Like, there was no weak link. It's just because obviously Imelda's so good that sometimes maybe it felt like there was a bit of an imbalance in performances, but honestly, generally speaking, the whole cast was really, really good and I just loved it. Ensemble, lead cast members, everybody was amazing. There's just one particular actress that I want to name, just because I've seen this person before in other shows and stuff, and I had no idea that she was in this show, and it was a bit of a surprise when I got the programme and I saw her name. And that's Gemma Sutton. She played the role of June, which is Imelda's character's daughter in the show. If you know it, you know what I mean. She played June when she was old and stuff. Not old, but like an adult. And she was great, she was fantastic. I've always liked Gemma in everything I've seen her in, so it's great to see her in this. Yeah, the show itself, I mean, the plot is it's pretty simple. It's basically about this woman called Mama Rose, they call her. She's called Rose, but obviously she's known as the Mama Rose because she's this mother of two children. two girls, and all she ever wants is for her daughters to become famous, like become very well-known stage performers. So she's like, she's very hard on them basically. She's constantly, since they were like children, well, she actually get to see in the show as well, you get to see the children, like you get to see June and the other daughter Louise from when they're very young up until they turn into adults, and yeah, she's just kind of constantly working them hard, making sure they're on stage, telling them how to do stuff, and yeah, it's just about kind of her journey as a mother, as her daughters grow up, and this kind of passion that she has in herself to turn her daughters into stars. And I mean, that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil it for you. There's obviously more into each of the characters, and both the daughters, they're very different, each of them, and it's very interesting to learn about each of their characters and stuff. And yeah, Imelda's character, Rose, she goes on this incredible journey throughout the show, and you might think that there's not much to the show because of how I just explained the plot to you, and that's my fault, but there's a lot to it, especially Rose's character is such a complex character in my opinion, and you really feel for her at times, and it's just, there's bits of her that you can connect with, and I mean, especially in Act 2, for instance, there are some moments that you just feel sorry for her, and just, I nearly cried at the end. This review is not making any sense, I'm so sorry. But yeah, basically all I'm trying to say is that it was a really, really good show. The music, like I said, surprisingly good, plot really interesting, actors, cast members, everybody in it was fantastic. The orchestra sounded amazing. Like, when the show first starts, there's about like a 5-minute overture going on, and me and my friend actually looked at each other and laughed because we didn't expect it to go on for that long. But literally it's about 5 minutes of just the orchestra doing music and stuff, and it sounded so nice. Usually I'd be so annoyed and like be like, oh my god, why can't I just start the show? I mean, it was the start of the show, if that makes sense, but it was just like you could hear the orchestra, the overture, without actually seeing anything on stage, if that makes any sense. But it sounded amazing, and throughout the whole show it was amazing. Everything about the show is amazing. I need to stop saying that word. It's just a really good show, and I understand why everyone raves about it. Is it one of my favourite shows of all time? No, it really isn't, because there are just way too many shows that I absolutely love and connect with a lot more than I connect with to Gypsy. But this is a really good show. I'm not in a rush to go and see it again, although I really do want to see Imelda's performance again, like tomorrow. But it's just a really good show, and I do want to see it again at some point, because I enjoyed it. I had fun. I was entertained by the show. The sets as well, the costume. This show just has everything right, okay guys? Just go and see the show, because everything about the show is spot on and perfect, and it's worth seeing. So that's my review of Gypsy at the Savoy Theatre in London. I'm really sorry, this really wasn't a review, really, it was more just me going on about how great it is. But if you have seen the show, leave comments down below, and if you're looking forward to seeing the show anytime soon, again, let me know. And if you've got any questions as well, leave them in the comment section below, and I shall see you next time. Bye!